When people think of America, they think of power. They think of the strongest military in the world. The richest economy on the planet. The dollar, the undisputed king of global money. But what if I told you that behind that power sits the largest pile of debt in human history? A debt so massive no nation has ever escaped it without pain. A debt so normalized that people no longer question it. A debt that is quietly reshaping America's future, and the world's. This isn't a story about politics. It isn't about parties or presidents. This is a story about money, power, and consequences. Welcome to Money Explained, where money explains what the headlines hide. Today, we talk about America's debt problem, the one nobody really wants to discuss. America is over $34 trillion in debt. That number is so huge it hardly feels real. So enormous the human mind refuses to process it. Trillions don't exist in everyday life. We deal in salaries, bills, groceries, rent. Not in numbers that can swallow entire countries. If you tried to pay down America's debt at $1 million per day, it would take almost 100,000 years. That's longer than all of recorded human history. And yet, this debt is treated like background noise. Why? Because debt doesn't scream. It whispers. America didn't wake up one morning and choose bankruptcy. This story is slow. Quiet. Comfortable. In the beginning, debt had a purpose. Borrowing built roads. Borrowing built factories. Borrowing built schools, ports, and power grids. Every dollar borrowed created something tangible. Something that paid back more than it cost. That is healthy debt. But healthy habits, repeated without limits, become unhealthy. After World War II, America stood alone at the top. Its factories were untouched. Its currency became the backbone of global trade. The dollar was no longer just money. It became power. And power changes behavior. When the world needs your currency, discipline fades. You can spend today and worry tomorrow. You can promise benefits without funding them. You can fight wars without paying for them up front. So America did. Taxes remained politically painful. Spending remained politically popular. Debt filled the gap. Year after year, the debt ceiling rose. Not because solutions were found, but because postponement was easier. Here's the part nobody likes to admit: America's debt problem isn't caused by crisis. It's caused by comfort. Comfort creates denial. The system works, until it doesn't. As long as investors buy U.S. bonds, the illusion holds. As long as interest rates stay manageable, the pressure stays hidden. As long as inflation feels temporary, people stay calm. But math never sleeps. Interest on the debt is now one of the largest government expenses. Not education. Not infrastructure. Not innovation. Interest. Money paid for the past. Every dollar spent on interest is a dollar not spent on the future. And the future is getting more expensive. America's population is aging. Healthcare costs are exploding. Social Security promises were made decades ago, to people who are now retiring. Those promises were never fully funded. They were trusted. Trust is not a payment plan. The Federal Reserve stepped in to delay the pain. Low interest rates made debt feel harmless. Borrowing became normal. Expected. But cheap money distorts reality. It inflates assets. Rewards speculation. Punishes savers. When inflation finally arrived, the mask fell. Rates rose. And suddenly, debt had weight. Every rate increase adds hundreds of billions in future obligations. Not because America spent more, but because old spending became more expensive. This is how debt traps work. People often say, America can never collapse. It prints the dollar. That confidence is dangerous. Printing money isn't strength. It's delay. It quietly transfers wealth. From savers to borrowers. From workers to asset holders. From the future to the present. History shows us this pattern again and again. Empires rarely fall from invasion. They fall from imbalance. Rome debased its currency. Spain drowned in silver. Britain overextended its empire. America's challenge is different, but familiar. The world is watching. Not with panic, but with calculation. Foreign nations hold trillions in US debt. They don't need America to fail. They only need better alternatives. Confidence doesn't shatter all at once. It leaks. And once it leaks, borrowing gets harder. Spending turns painful. Choices become unavoidable. That moment is what leaders fear. Because real solutions hurt. They mean saying no to voters. They mean cutting benefits. They mean raising taxes. They mean prioritizing long-term survival over short-term comfort. No election rewards that. So the debt grows. Not explosively, but persistently. Like water behind a dam. America still has time. Still has strength. Still has influence. But time is not infinite. Debt does not disappear. It demands resolution. Through inflation. Through taxation. Through reduced living standards. Or through reform. The choice isn't between pain and no pain. It's between controlled pain now or uncontrolled pain later. America's debt problem isn't hidden. It's ignored. Not because people don't know, but because knowing demands action. History teaches one thing clearly: money problems never disappear. They only change form. The question isn't whether America will pay the price. The question is who pays it, and how. If you want to understand money, power, and the forces shaping the future, subscribe to Money Explained. Because the most important stories are rarely the loudest. They're the ones no one wants to talk about.